So the next step after you bake them is just to peel them, which they peel pretty easy, but kind of sticks. It's not that bad, as long as you don't mind pulling that out of there a few times. Just get all that brown skin off there. And much easier to peel than a raw potato, I will tell you that. It's still kind of hot, but that's what it calls for, because the hotter it is when you mix it together, the fluffier it's supposed to be. And we're going for light and fluffy and shapeful this time around, and I'm hoping that it ends up something like that. Alright, that's one down. We'll get back to you when I got them all peeled. Alright, the next part after you've got them all peeled and they're still warm is you just grate them into a large bowl. And pretty self-explanatory, this step. Yeah, just grates pretty easy. Starts to fall apart a little bit, but it's not that hard. The thing about this recipe is, if you do it right, anybody should be able to do it. Yeah, just dealing with it hot is kind of an issue, but if it's not hot, you won't get as smooth results. That's what it looks like when you've done a whole one. And after I get these done, we'll move on to the next step. Alright, so our potatoes are all nice and grated. Bring us to the next step. You take one lightly beaten egg. Go ahead and just toss that right on in there. Mix it together. It calls for a wooden spoon, but you know, this is what I got, so it's what I got. Mix it real well in there. Alright, so the next step, you just add flour a little bit at a time and then mix it together until the combination no longer sticks to your hands. So you just get in there and start working with it. And that's definitely not enough because it's still sticking to my hands, but that'll be alright. Just add a bit more and keep going until it works. Alright, so this next step, you're just gonna go ahead and knead this like you would bread dough. Actually, I've never made bread, so I'm really just guessing here. It's sticking a little bit, so I gotta make sure to add some flour to this before I try and roll them out. Go. Alright, now that we got them all kneaded, I split them into 5 bowls, and now's the next step. I've got this all floured, even though it doesn't necessarily say you need it because it was really hard to work with and sticky, so I was hoping that would help a bit. And you just work these until it's very, very stretched out. Trying to make sure it's even. I mean, people who work with bread, this should be easy for them. Me, I'm kind of a novice when it comes to anything like this. I am a meat kind of guy, so yeah, I'll roll that again because it's just not exactly how I want it, but that's okay. Trial and error, right? Alrighty. Yeah, these are very fragile, so you just keep working it until you have it like half an inch or so thick, I think, is about right. looks about right to me. Now, gnocchi traditionally has that has ridges on either side, but yeah, these just don't ridge well, so I'm just going to cut them into 1-inch bits and not worry about the ridges.
That's not high enough. That's not high enough.
Alright, so based on this recipe, they come out looking like a pillowy little thing like that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, looks alright to me. Seems like a decent recipe. If you guys want to follow it, cool. Let me know if it works for you, and if not, I'll find a better one and we'll work on that. Thank you. And oh yeah, I forgot to mention, these, you put them in boiling salted water until they rise to the surface, or a minute or two after that, and they should be done. And they're light and airy and delicious. Serve it with marinara, whatever your favorite Italian sauce is. Thank you and have a good day.